welcome back to our channel. This is Neko, and I'm here with my wife, Snacks.
Hey guys.
And today we're going to be talking about the Chic Street apartment. Overall, this is a small apartment to remodel.
Right, just one bedroom, one bath.
Right, it's not very big. So it was really hard to squeeze in, even that one bedroom and one bath. And then you need a kitchen and a living room. So this one was kind of a challenge, actually, for me.
Right, to offer enough living space and still get everything you need or that you feel that you need in it.
Right. The room divider, that thing, putting it in the windows, I really like the look of putting it in the window. But because it's an apartment, you can't change the windows or change the front door. So grabbing those things out, you couldn't take them back out. You had to do the undo button to get them back out. And
right,
that was a pain in the butt.
Right, you either had them or you didn't.
Right, there was no going back.
Without having to literally go back.
Without literally having to go back, right. So I decided just to leave them out because, well, I like the look of it a lot, but again, I wasn't sure about it, and the way that I build, it would have been horrible to get to like the end or close to the end and decide, you know what?
I just don't like the way they look.
I just don't like the way they look, and
right.
then not be able to take them out of the build
right.
at all. It would have drove me crazy.
I believe that.
So I just left them out.
This build probably would have never made it.
Oh, right? It was lucky it made it. I wanted it to feel open because it is so small.
Right. But to have like separate areas, designated things, like dining room versus living room, but still an open floor plan.
Right, just so it wouldn't shrink. And that's why I went back and forth so much between like a half wall and a divider, like,
or with the wall, without the wall. Right.
Right. I mean, I tried a lot of different ways. I mean, you actually cut a lot of...
I did cut a lot of back and forth out of that over that wall.
Right, because I really did go back and forth a lot. Actually, to be honest with you, this wasn't the direction I was trying to take this build. Like,
I mean, builds have a mind of their own. They just do what they want when they want.
They do. I just wanted to get across that I didn't start this build out trying to make it a black and white build.
Right, it just took that on its own.
It did. It kind of just created itself.
That plant, you were like, I'm gonna put it here and I'm gonna put shelves on it.
Yeah, I think it looks better. I think, well, I mean, especially in this build, I thought it looked better with like to separate them more,
right,
instead of them just being free
wall hanging plants to appear as if they are shelved.
Right.
And then technically, because they're not on the shelves, your stems could still put things on the shelves.
Right, exactly, in front of them. But,
right.
I mean, I don't know. I like the look of it.
Right.
And that one's like my favorite plant in the game.
With that hanging one that didn't make it?
Yep, it didn't make the cut. But that one is my favorite plant in the game.
Add a mirror to a small space, makes it feel bigger.
I mean, that's what they tell you when you're decorating, right? I don't know. I feel like you add too many mirrors, you're opening...
You're trapping ghosts.
You're trapping ghosts. You're opening the space up for a haunt. I also embraced that robot vacuum cleaner because I feel like they're actually starting to become a thing in the real world. I mean, we actually have one ourselves. So it's got to be,
Right, making its debut in the world.
right. I mean, they probably, I mean, I'm sure we got one late in life. They've
Oh, yeah,
been around
for
for
sure.
years and years. They're just finally affordable, I think, in my opinion. But because I have Bust the Dust kit in this build, I like to include that vacuum cleaner because for the most part, I don't like to vacuum. It takes, I know it's like a lot of people like it, is an essential part of gameplay, especially if they're playing like a real life gameplay.
Right.
But
I can see where your Sims would be focused on other things. Who has the time to vacuum? Just like in real life. Who has time to vacuum? Just set Vinny loose and be done with it.
right,
Oh, Vinny is the name of our vacuum.
right, we named our vacuum.
He is Vinny Vacuum.
Vinny the vacuum.
So,
I'd like to glue googly eyes to him and set him loose. Here I am squeezing everything I possibly can into one of these tiny little bedrooms.
I think it's got more than enough. I mean, really, technically in the Sims world, all they need is a bed and they're happy. Like,
Right in a dresser. So
they don't even have to have the dresser.
Right, I guess you could just use a mirror, can't you?
Right.
For-
Well, and then, like, can't you even just, like, click on the Sims themselves and just have them change their outfit?
that side of the room in the bedroom was really hard to do too, actually.
What, the shelves here?
The shelves, because everything, like, again, because it's such a small build, like, everything stuck out, I felt, really far from that wall right there at the door. And I just couldn't, I guess you didn't see it, but I really did. I tried a lot of different things in that corner. Like, I tried not a desk. I tried the dresser, and I tried different shelves, and I tried a clothes rack thing. I probably even pulled out like artwork, like paintings, mirrors, and finally just settled on that shelf.
Right. It looks good though.
Right.
You made the right choice.
I don't know. I found that and I was like, ooh, a photographer Sims lives in this apartment. But of course, if the viewer downloads this build, they can include their own interpretation of what kind of Sim lives here.
For sure. Even if it's just a hobbyist photographer, they would still collect cameras, I'm sure.
I really like a build with plants.
Right, you do use a lot of plants.
Right. I like multiple plants. Not only are they a great filler, but they can also add an extra pop of color. And with a black and white build like this, I think it needed a little splash of color.
Oh, for sure, especially, But I like the black and white, though. It's very, as they would say, chic.
It is very chic, very clean, very modern. Going back to the plants, I like the plants because in our real life, we have cats.
Sure do.
And the cats eat our plants.
They sure do.
And so I can't have house plants, and I love house plants.
Right. They add life to a room, literally.
Right. They add life to the room, and they help, clean the air in the space.
Natural air filters.
Right. And I just love the look of plants. I love the smell of plants. But my cats, they
love plants too.
They love plants too.
Just in a different way.
Right. I just I can't be having that. So in our situation, I can either have a house plant or I can have a house cat.
We prefer the cats.
We prefer the cats, right?
Most of the time.
Right. I wasn't sure where I was going with the bathroom, to be honest. And again, it's a tiny bathroom, and I wanted it to live up to the chic standard that I had put on the rest of the build.
Well, that the rest of the build had acquired itself.
Right. That the rest of the build had acquired itself. but it just wasn't flowing as easy in the bathroom for me. And I really wanted to use that shower as opposed to
Like an actual shower.
Right, I could have put an actual shower in with the sliding glass door, with the curtain, the shower curtain, and it would have been fine. But I wanted more of an upscale kind of
look,
modernish look to it. So I really wanted to make that wall, that little half wall, work for the shower.
that divider.
The divider, right? Like, I was really feeling the room dividers, and it just didn't work in here. I ended up just putting a walkthrough in it.
I like the look of the walkthrough though.
I do too. I mean, I don't hate it.
Something else that didn't work in here.
Oh, the sink. The sink it didn't work either. And that was so upsetting because it's such a great sink. I ended up making what I thought was a really cool sink build, but when I play tested the sim, I brought him in and he wouldn't wash his hands in the sink. It's kind of important. You go to the bathroom, you wash your hands, right? Well, he wouldn't wash his hands. And I was like, ooh, you touched the doorknob. So I had to do something. So if you were to download this build and you go in and you find that the sink in the video is not the same sink that ended up in the gallery.
Just know that the sink in the gallery now works.
Right. I play tested it again and it works now. It just doesn't look the same at all. Put a lot of effort into the bathroom. You've cut it to look effortless, but this was another one where I struggled a lot with like what to put on the walls to make it look
not as a bare wall, but not clanky and cluttered.
Right. And everything has to match.
You would think, but then the brown towel at the sink. I mean, it matches.
I was going to say, I think the brown towel works.
Right.
Because you've got brown in the sink, brown in the door, brown in the mirror.
Right. You almost forgot the lights.
Yeah, I usually end up not really forgetting the lights in a build, but not being concerned about lighting in a build. And I feel like those tiny saucer lights are enough. Unless I'm using a specific light for a specific look, I have a tendency to not really add lights. Like, I don't know.
Right, as long as you can see what you're doing.
Right, so you'll see a lot of saucer lights in my builds because
they provide a good little light. It's like you want just the simple light in the bathroom, but it's not enough light. So you're like, oh, gotta add the saucer light back.
Right, I have to put the saucer light because, you know. All right, guys, I think that should do it. So
we'll leave you with some screenshots.
Give us a like.
Hit that subscribe button.
Right, and if you download it, let us know what's your favorite part.
Right, for sure. And we'll see you in the next one.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Bye. And just a reminder, in order to place an apartment build on the gallery, you have to delete some walls so it reads as a room. So to make it easy, I deleted one wall around the doors. So just when you download the build, remember to add those walls back.